Yo, what's up? I figured I'm on a lunch break right now, and yeah, bruh, this shit weak as fuck, man. Motherfuckers are losing their minds. Yeah, Pentiment 2 is gonna have to get rushed out the door now, because there ain't nothing coming out. Bro, this is a massive fucking hell. Because the thing is Microsoft has to appeal this shit, which means they have to wait until 2024, probably at minimum, before this thing ever actually goes through fucking court. And that's if it does get through court by that point. So 2024 is like the earliest date that it's going to be in court, apparently, is what I've read. Is that it takes about a year to get into like the appeal process of this. So, yeah. If anybody was hoping for a quick win, that is not the fucking case. And that's if the FTC doesn't win in court, keep in mind, too. But yeah, for all the people saying that cloud gaming's not the future, like, oh, it blocked this deal from, you know, proceeding into the future. Oski Woski with the 5, do you think Activision won't be bought? Do you think they'll be saved from the Disney-like Microsoft? Probably. I think, like, at this point, I don't know, because Microsoft's stock shot up like 8% today. Now, part of that is because of their earnings, but Activision dropped 10%, Microsoft shot up 10%. So it's not really too hard to like kind of see a correlation there, because you would think that Microsoft investors would be upset that their $70 billion acquisition got blocked. But I'm thinking after the news of the really disappointing Xbox division performance, a lot of Microsoft investors are probably happy that that money's not being spent on the gaming division. Would be my guess, is there's not like a negative reaction on the Microsoft side because a lot of investors are actually kind of happy this got blocked. Especially considering how poorly Xbox has been doing as a gaming division recently for Microsoft. So that's kind of interesting to see, because typically stock price like directly reflects like the general market consensus versus like the gaming consensus. So I think that's kind of interesting to look at, that Activision plummets because they're not getting purchased, of course, and Microsoft shoots up. You would think like a $70 billion acquisition being blocked would tank your company's stock, because that should be like a very profitable business venture. But apparently the market is not of the same belief. So kind of interesting to see. But I mean, for everybody who quote-unquote likes competition in gaming, this is definitely a win, because if Activision continues to sell all their shit on every single platform, there you go, more competition in gaming. So, I mean, personally, you all know how I feel about Microsoft's management of studios, and I don't have faith in them to manage Call of Duty properly. So this is kind of a sigh of relief in a sense, because at the very least, it's at least a year or two delay before Microsoft gets their grubby little mitts on Call of Duty and can potentially ruin it, like they did with Halo and Gears of War. So there is that silver lining. You can get a few more years out of the franchise. No, this would not be the same. It would... No. Okay. If Sony was doing this shit, it would not be viewed as they're saving gaming. This would be under just as much scrutiny, bro. Like, you gotta realize, this is like, what? The largest technology acquisition of all time? This thing's gonna be under heavy scrutiny no matter who's acquiring it. But the thing is that fucked Microsoft is the cloud. Which is very ironic, because that was like their whole marketing gimmick in the Xbox One generation, was the power of the cloud. So, kind of funny to see that shit come full circle. But yeah, I mean, the CMA is not wrong in the sense that cloud gaming is where the market's going in the future. Like, so what if it's not popular right now? But in the future, let's say cloud gaming does take off, you know, those 10-year deals don't really mean shit in a 15 to 20-year timeline, if that makes sense, which is when cloud gaming is probably going to become much more, I would say, mainstream at that point. 15 to 20 years, like, cloud gaming will probably eclipse regular gaming at that point. Have I ever used cloud gaming? Yeah, it worked fine for me. I just don't really have a reason to, because I'm not like fucking Dreamcast guy. I don't need to grind RPGs when I'm caramelizing onions, so... If I want to play a video game, I'll just fucking sit down and play a video game. No, I'm on my lunch break right now. Or I should say lunch break, but yeah. I'm not actually eating lunch. Instead, I'm gaming, because I'm a true addict. But yeah, this is a massive fucking L, bro. I mean, there's no way to twist this shit. This is a massive fucking L, because at the very least, it sets the entire deal back a year or two, minimum. And that's if the appeal goes through, and that's if the FTC approves it, and that's if the EU approves it. Because if any one of those three continues to have pushback, then it just delays how much longer this thing's going to take. Because let's say the EU doesn't approve this next. What happens there? Well, they're going to have to appeal it in the European Union. Well, how long does that take? Well, let's say it goes to court in the United States and they side with the FTC. Well, Microsoft can appeal it, but how long does it take to go to an appeals court? Like, that's the thing now. It's like the fucking... It's the legal waiting game at this point, so who fucking knows how long this is going to get kicked around in court for. So at the very least, you're looking at probably a year or two before this deal actually closes. And at the very worst, it's not going through, which... If I had to do a temperature check right now, just based off of Microsoft's stockholder reaction, I'm almost wondering if they're going to look at this as an out. I'm wondering if they're going to look at this as an out, because you don't have like a 10% uptick when the largest acquisition in your company's history gets blocked. If the stockholders are actually happy about it. And coming off of like the disappointing Xbox sales information, the fact they're getting absolutely obliterated in gaming in general right now, I don't really think Microsoft stockholders are too anxious to dump $70 billion into gaming when they could dump $70 billion into cloud architecture and expand the business that actually makes money for Microsoft and is driving their market cap. So... I think this was a... I mean, I kind of hate to say it, but this is like a Hail Mary acquisition to keep Xbox relevant. Because let's face it, guys, like, without Bethesda right now, what is Microsoft actually putting out? Nothing. Forza and the worst Halo game in the franchise's history. So, without acquisitions, Microsoft has nothing really in the pipeline. So... I think at this point, you know, Phil Spencer has obviously convinced Microsoft higher-ups that gaming needs to stick around and has gotten money thrown in his direction to do so. But the reality is, the only thing keeping Xbox alive is continuous studio acquisitions, because the console itself is selling like shit. So, unless they can continuously buy up studios to basically, you know, force people to play games on the Xbox, it's like, how sustainable really is Xbox long term? Because I mean, let's be honest, guys. If they didn't purchase Bethesda, would Microsoft even give a fuck about Xbox at this point? I mean, they've cut off bigger fucking business units than Xbox before. Like, think about it, dude. They got rid of Windows Phone, which at one point was the largest mobile operating system. They basically trashed fucking Skype. They trashed their Zune players. What was the other thing they got rid of too? Fuck, I can't remember. But, you know, you get the point. Microsoft is willing to dump a fuck ton of money into a business venture and then just write it off as a loss on their taxes. Like, they don't care. Yeah, Mixer. They just got rid of their entire VR and AR division. The Surface division just got gutted. I mean, Microsoft, like, this is the thing, is Activision Blizzard is a tax write-off for Microsoft in all reality. Like, their annual profits are higher than the purchase price of Activision. So this is nothing more than, like, a tax write-off for them at the end of the day. And the Xbox brand is probably smaller in reality than 70 billion. I don't think you could sell Xbox for 70 billion, personally. I mean, I don't know how profitable it is, but I can't imagine very. Nintendo was losing money on the Wii U generation, and Nintendo makes money on hardware, software, accessories, and everything. But because of how low the sales were, you know, they were losing money. The 3DS kept them alive. So, you can't say, like, the Wii U was worth, like, 70 billion. It's just a very interesting position. Because unless Microsoft can keep making these massive acquisitions constantly, like, I think the jury's out on whether or not the Xbox brand can survive, personally. Because, I mean, you gotta look at it this way. The 30% sales decline in Xbox consoles year over year is in the, like, wake of Starfield and Redfall supposedly just about to come out. So if there was any hype around Xbox, you would think it'd be now, because you have two big games coming out in the coming months. So you would think, like, oh, console sales would still be going up, but 2.5 years into the generation, they're dropping 30%. That's very bad. Typically, the first 3 to 4 years is when you see, like, just an accelerated rise in console sales continuously. And then they kind of plateau off around year 5 and 6, and then they start to drop. That's usually the console life cycle. But we're seeing with Xbox 2 years in that sales are already declining, which means they plateaued around year 1 in terms of sales growth, which is really bad. Meanwhile, Sony's outselling Xbox 3-1 in their key markets, which typically they've historically had a more, like, on-par sales number basis. Like, in the US, typically, if you look at sales for, like, Xboxes and PlayStations, they're typically, like, neck and neck. Whereas now Sony is outselling Xbox 3-1. So, this is not a good news cycle for Microsoft for the past month. At all. Terrible news after, like, terrible news. I don't think there's been one positive thing for months. Bamaham Yum with the 2. Someone walked under a ladder at Microsoft. That's right. I don't know, man. I mean, it's not surprising, because I think at the end of the day, like, I really don't think the UK is going to be the end-all be-all, because the worst case is they'll fucking give them a fine. That's it. They're not going to block Microsoft from selling products in the UK. That's stupid. They'll probably get a fine. But that's if the FTC goes through and the EU goes through. Because the EU, they're not going to be willing to, like, go up against. EU's too big. And then FTC, you know, the FTC's already opposed it, so they have to win in court at this point. So it depends on what judge they get, in all honesty. And then Jishin with the 5. What's up, bro? What's up, man? And May 1st burst with the 5. When your sales are low, you buy less bulk, so your margins could get worse. Yeah, I don't know, man. I think, well, the thing is Microsoft has the supply. You can buy an Xbox anywhere you go. Like, I went to Best Buy the other day. They had a fuck ton of Xboxes and PlayStations. So everything's stocked at this point. There's no excuse for supply chain or any of that garbage. You've been able to get an Xbox and PlayStation with zero fucking effort for the past, like, 4 or 5 months. You could walk into basically any store and find them. They're not rare anymore. They're readily available. And that's why we're starting to see the Xbox sales decline, because we were in a scenario where I think most people were buying an Xbox because they couldn't get a PlayStation, or they were the people who were on Xbox One converting to an Xbox Series X. Party members with the 5 Bethesda games have always been the most popular on PC, so I don't see Starfield say... No, I don't either. Especially after that showing. I don't think there's... Bro, I'm gonna be honest. I don't think there's much hype for Starfield at all. Like, all things considered, I have seen almost no hype. Like, I remember the hype for Skyrim or Fallout 4. I'm not seeing that shit with Starfield. But... hopefully it comes out and is good. I'm not really a Fallout fan in general, and Starfield looks like Fallout in space. I mean, I think, like, the extra little aspects and shit they've added on look cool, like the base building and everything like that. So that's more interesting to me than the actual, like, I guess, core RPG gameplay. But, I mean, I'll try it, but I'm not, like, hyped for Starfield. But yeah, that game will sell way better on PC. 100%. That's a PC game. And Regnier with the 5, hopefully this block means Microsoft don't get COD. They've proven they can't release quality games, and I don't want them messing with COD. So I have a theory. A game theory, no. But I have a theory that maybe what'll happen is maybe they'll just buy Blizzard. What do you guys think about that? Do you think Activision would be willing to spin off Blizzard and sell it to Microsoft? Because I don't think there would be any pushback, because Call of Duty has been the game, like, I guess named at every single step of the way. Call of Duty has been the game that has had the most fucking pushback. So they could buy, you know, King and Blizzard probably with zero fucking resistance. And I'm wondering if that's what it'll come down to. Because, I mean, with Blizzard, you still get an amazing catalog of games. And then if they get King, they get their mobile games. But I don't know, bro. It's interesting. But I almost wonder if they're going to use this as an out to get out of this acquisition. Just because, like, the stockholder reaction to me says everything. Because if I'm a shareholder of a company and I have faith in their $70 billion acquisition... the news that that's not going through is bad news, in my opinion. I don't look at that and go, oh yeah, I'm going to buy more. And that's what happened this morning, is Microsoft's stock shot up 10%. Activision's went down 10%. So it's almost like the market consensus is they don't want this deal to go through from a Microsoft shareholder perspective. Because they probably don't want them spending the money on gaming. iSiler with the 2. What's this daytime stream? I'm just on launch right now. And party members with the 5. Also, the reason the series consoles did well in the first year was because they were slightly easier to get than PS5. Yeah, that was the thing. They were paying for priority chip manufacturing. But that's what I always said is like, bro, the PS5... because the way I looked at the whole console market is from a scalping perspective, because I was making money off these motherfuckers. There was almost never a point where you could make money flipping an Xbox Series X. You could make money flipping PS5s for almost 2 years. So that, again, if you look at the numbers, that tells you the demand for PlayStation 5s was much higher than the Xbox consoles. Because even though the fucking Xbox is sold out every once in a while, they never resold. Meaning that there weren't enough people to drive the price up higher than retail. Versus like the PlayStation, you were able to flip for almost 2 years and make a profit. So that was like always the theory I had, is Xbox was doing so well because you couldn't get a PlayStation 5. And once we started to see, you know, the stock of both consoles kind of materialize in stores and everything, where you could just walk in and buy whatever you want, that's when I thought the PlayStation 5 was going to really pull ahead, and that's exactly what we're fucking seeing. Because again, if you look at like the resale prices, that is a direct reflection of demand. And the demand for the Xbox was never there to the level it was for the PlayStation 5. I mean, bro, not even flipping PS4s or Nintendo Switches lasted that long. I mean, the PS5 was like an infinite fucking money hack. I've never seen anything resell that well for so long. Delta Goal with the 2 early stream. Is there a event happening? Only the one in the title. The Abyss with the 2. Glad to finally catch a stream. GG. Appreciate it, man. And the Abyss with the 1.
You're broke! You're fucking poor!
Mortal RA with the 5. Do a PlayStation use the money and build new studios, plus make exclusive deals with other studios for Game Pass? Yeah, that's the other thing I heard, is maybe Microsoft will just pay Activision to put games in Game Pass, but I don't think they can afford that. They would have to spend billions of dollars a year to put Call of Duty in Game Pass. And why would you spend billions of dollars on something if you don't own it? Dude, the scalpers that are losing money are fucking stupid. Like, bro, if you didn't sell your PlayStation 5 stock like 6 months ago, then you deserve to get caught holding the bag. I don't understand why they would have held on to their stock for like 2 years going on 3. Like, dump that shit when you get it and then get your money out. That's what I do. That way you can abuse the return period if you can't sell your shit. You can just return it and get your money back. Weaponized autism with the 2. Microsoft is the biggest clown show I've ever seen. I really wonder what's the fuck's going on over there, bro. I really do. Like, they put all their cards in one hand when it came to this Activision deal. Because, I mean, let's look at things objectively here, guys, alright? So once Bethesda finishes busting their load this year, which they have definitely busted their fucking load, and Starfield and Redfall come out, what do we have in the pipeline for Microsoft? The Coalition hasn't announced a game. Avowed doesn't have a release year. Fable doesn't have a release year. Perfect Dark doesn't have a release year. Like, what are we getting? I think Microsoft was really betting on being able to market Call of Duty and Game Pass as like their fucking, you know, solution to their non-existent games catalog. Yeah, I know, the Bethesda games are not from Xbox. They were already in development and mostly done before Xbox even bought them. I'm just saying, like, from a first-party perspective, what do they actually have? I mean, I would hope id Software is working on something, but it sounds like id Software got pulled in to work on fucking Redfall. So, I don't know, man. Shit's kind of sus. So at the very least, we're looking at a year delay on this deal. And that's like the minimum. A year. So for anybody counting down the days to getting like Call of Duty or Diablo or whatever in Game Pass, keep dreaming. Because it's going to be a while. Party members with the 5, as I've said before, with PS5s, at least you know things are coming. Xbox has like no concrete releases for the next few years. But I would even take it a step further. Is even if you know, like, Sony doesn't have something for a while, when it does actually arrive, you know it's going to be of a certain quality. I think that's the biggest thing. Is like if Microsoft, let's say, was making people wait a long time, but they were releasing like some of the best fucking games in the industry, I think you could make a legitimate case like, okay, it's worth the wait. You know, I'll just play third-party games while I wait. Because Microsoft, like, when they release something, it's fucking fire. But with PlayStation, at least, like God of War, for what God of War is, I'm not saying you have to like it personally, because this point always goes, I don't fucking like it. I don't care. I don't like it either. But the type of game that God of War is best in genre. Sony makes genre-defining experiences in that particular genre. So if you are buying a PlayStation because you like PlayStation's games, there is a certain level of certainty that you have going in that whatever Sony puts out is going to be a certain quality standard. You cannot say the same with Microsoft. Like, if you're a first-person shooter fan, well, guess what? They just put out Halo Infinite, dog shit game. Now they're putting out Redfall, locked at 30 FPS on the world's most powerful console. No one wants to play a first-person shooter at 30 frames per second in 2023. I would even say back in 2013, nobody fucking wanted to do that shit. Look at Killzone Shadowfall. That game was so bad they got fucking sued over it. Xbox fans are lying to themselves that Sony games are bad. Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't like Horizon or God of War or Spider-Man and that type of shit. But I can look at shit objectively and be like, okay, if I liked that style of game, those are some of the best on the market. Like, who makes a better cinematic narrative experience than Sony? The answer is no one. So I just don't understand why motherfuckers, you know, I don't fucking like it. Well, what do you like? You like Redfall? I'm sure. You'll play it for 10 minutes, just like Colt Eastwood said, bro. Have fun playing God of War for 8 hours while I'll be spending hundreds of hours dropping buildings with my buddies in Crackdown 3 multiplayer. Like, bruh. You know, the cope sessions are nothing new to the fucking Xbox fanboys, bro. I don't understand why y'all have fucking Stockholm Syndrome. Like, remember when Xbox used to actually be fucking good during the 360 generation? Like, is it too much to, like, actually fucking want that shit back? But instead, y'all are happy with fucking Pentiment and Redfall? Like, please. The copium is on full supply, motherfuckers. You are lying to yourselves if you think Microsoft is putting out better shit than Sony is right now. You are lying. Yeah, doesn't Fortnite run at 120 frames on Xbox Series X as well? I'm pretty sure, right? I think that has like the ultra performance mode or whatever the fuck. I know Call of Duty runs at 120 FPS, but I'm not sure about Fortnite. Oh, great, the fucking trash trucks out there. Fortnite is 120 on the Series S.
Microsoft.
Jesus Christ. And then look at Ghostwire Tokyo. They had a year to port that game to Xbox. It came out buggy, broken, and ran worse than the PlayStation 5 version. Dog, it's a wrap this gen. Microsoft has fucking given up on themselves. You know, the whip either needs to start cracking or they just need to pack this shit up, bro. Like, honestly. Like, why even try at this point? Like, they're just wasting money, I feel like. Like, you know for a fact Halo Infinite lost them hundreds of millions of dollars. Like, if that game actually had a $500 million budget, there's no way that game made that money back. Especially after they gave it away for free in Game Pass. Halo is in a better state now, but it has all the features that should have been there 2 years ago. So, that's basically how you have to look at Halo Infinite. Is the current state of Halo Infinite is how it should have launched. Meaning, there's a 2-year content drought still. Like, they still have to make up for 2 years of missed content updates, in my opinion. They have a long way to fucking go. And then on top of that, go look at the fucking player base on Steam. They got like 2,000 people playing. Nobody fucking cares about Halo anymore. It's dead. Halo Infinite is dead, buried, and forgotten. You're right, Steam is not Xbox. Steam has what? 5 times the monthly active users that Xbox has? You're right, bro. Steam is way bigger than Xbox could ever hope to be. So if anything, there's probably less people playing it on Xbox. Keep coping, bro. The copium supply has been on full tap for years on your side of the fence. Keep it up. Obviously, it's an infinite fucking resource. More people play Horizon Zero Dawn on PC over Halo Infinite. Yeah, same with God of War 2018. Yeah, Sony's single-player games have a higher active player base than Halo Infinite, a free-to-play first-person shooter.
Bruh.
I just don't understand why y'all put up with this shit, man. If I was stuck with an Xbox as my only platform right now, or if I had any sort of loyalty to them, I would be fucking furious. I don't understand this fucking cuckery, dude. It's like Phil Spencer's fucking your wife in front of your face and you're like, want me to get a towel so you can clean up? Like, that's basically what you're doing, bro. You're cleaning up Microsoft's mess that they're busting on your wife's cheeks. Like, dude, quit being a cuck. Honestly, it's sad. Y'all are like straight up cucked out to Microsoft at the moment. They're fucking you raw dog against your will, and then you're asking for more. It's just pitiful. It's like a rape victim blaming themselves for the event. Oh, it was actually my fault. I shouldn't have wore that skirt. With no Bro, it's just, I don't get it. Like, if my only console was an Xbox right now, I'd be fucking pissed. I mean, dude, now you have studios straight up skipping. Like, bro, if I was not able to play Final Fantasy 16, I'd be angry. If I'm not able to play Redfall, I consider that to be a blessing. Like, that's what we're at now. I would not have the same energy for PlayStation, because if you're a PlayStation fan, how the fuck are you not happy with what they're putting out? Sony is putting out the type of games that their fan base knows them for and loves them for. The fuck are you talking about? If I'm a PlayStation fan, I'm very happy right now. Just like if I'm a Nintendo fan, I'm happy right now. Nintendo's been putting out a shit ton of great games that their fan base likes. Microsoft has not done that. If you were an Xbox fan and like Xbox games, there is no reason you should be happy right now. Halo Infinite, the worst Halo in the franchise history. We haven't got any updates on Gears of War in what, 5 years? After Gears 5 is arguably the biggest flop in the franchise's history? I mean, I was playing the multiplayer, that shit died in a couple weeks. I mean, it's been 3 years since we've gotten an update on Fable, which is rumored to be outsourced now. Perfect Dark, the world's first quadruple A game, is not even being made inside of Microsoft. It's made by the motherfuckers who made the new fucking Saints Row game. Avowed, we got a logo flash 3 years ago. Nothing since. Hellblade 2. We supposedly saw gameplay 2 years ago for that game. Radio fucking silence ever since. Like, I don't understand how you're happy. How are you happy? It doesn't matter, bro. Crystal Dynamics is owned by Embracer Group now, and they gutted the fucking studio after they bought it. They fired a bunch of people, just like they did with Volition when they bought Volition. So Embracer Group owns Volition and Crystal Dynamics now. And I'm pretty sure they just sold off the Tomb Raider rights to Amazon and then got most of their team poached as a result. Because Amazon hired a bunch of them to go work on a Tomb Raider game. But isn't Crystal Dynamics also the people that made that wonderful Marvel game as well? So does that give you much faith either? Because they bought all of Square Enix's Western studios for $300 million, and then they sold Tomb Raider for $600 million to Amazon almost immediately. They doubled their fucking money with one franchise. I would have sold it too. Nope, Hellblade 2 is not out. Not even a release year. Delta Gold with the 2 Halo Infinite should have been a money printer. It absolutely should have. They could have copy and pasted Halo 5, made it free to play, and that shit would have made a fuckload of money. But nope. Oski Woski with the 10. I'm more of a Microsoft fan. Sony, since I like a lot of their games, but recently I've just been fed up. I don't play either console now. I'm just on PC a lot of times. So sad seeing Microsoft like it's same here, man. I don't like Sony's franchises. I like Microsoft's franchises, but Microsoft doesn't fucking like me enough to put an ounce of effort into them. Instead, you know, Gears of War has turned into the fucking Disney Star Wars of gaming. Halo Infinite was a pathetic attempt at a AAA game, and they just don't fucking release anything else. And when they do, it's like either insanely buggy and broken or just very disappointing. I don't know. DJ Aftershock with the 2. What's with the early afternoon stream? I'm on lunch. And so Namashi with the 5. With the Xbox One, didn't they always try to have games running at 60 FPS? Yeah, that's the thing, man. It's wild. But I think they just underestimate how poorly run like Bethesda is when it comes to like quality standards. I don't know, bro. It's very I would love to know the fucking dynamics, but unfortunately we'll probably never know. And weaponized autism with the 2, the radio silence makes Valve look talkative. Yup. But see, that kind of goes back to the point, like, if Microsoft was like the type of company where they rarely release something, but when it comes out, it's actually really fucking good, like, that'd be another story. Like Valve, for example, they go fucking years without releasing a game. They put out Half-Life Alyx, and it literally redefines the entire VR genre. Microsoft ain't on that level. Yeah, this month has been really bad for them. This month has been real fucking rough. I mean, it's just been bad news after bad news after bad news. 100%. Horizon Zero Dawn passing Halo on Steam has me weak. Yo, let's pull it up live. Let's check. Oh, what the fuck? Oh my god, bro, a package got delivered. Holy shit. Alright, let's see. Halo Infinite. 2,300 people. I mean, dude, we can compare this to a lot of different games. This should be fun. Let's see God of War 2018, guys. Okay, they have God of War 2018 beat by 100 people. You know? Alright, you know? Credit where credit's due. They beat a 5-year-old single-player game that costs $60. Big ups, Halo Infinite. Let's check the Master Chief Collection. Bro, there's over 1,000 more people playing, or actually 1,200. There's 1,200 more people playing the Master Chief Collection than free-to-play Halo Infinite. What else should we check? I wonder how Doom is. Okay, yeah, Doom's only 1,200. That's to be expected, though. Shit. Nobody plays that multiplayer. If they did, I'd be worried. I won't even check Elden Ring, because that's not fair. Elden Ring's super popular still. Alright, let's see. What else should we check it against? Let's do Battlefield, guys. One of the worst multiplayer launches of all fucking time. And to my knowledge... why didn't it take me to that? Oh, wait, that's the stupid fucking, demo, that's why. So, $60 game. How many people are playing Battlefield? This is the, I gotta click on it. Go back. Go back. Oh my god, dude, I fucking hate Steam's navigation sometimes. Alright, there we go. Bro, they've got almost 3 times the players of Halo Infinite right now. A $70 game or $60 game that is like notoriously the worst multiplayer game launch of all time, probably, has 3 times the amount of people that Halo Infinite has as a free-to-play game. What else should we check? Let's just check Dark Souls 3 for the fucking science. You know, 2016 game. It's got more people than Halo Infinite. And we got some big Souls titties right there. Nice. Let's check Dead Space Remake. How's that doing? 400? RIP. I'm actually kind of curious. Destiny 2 just put out a thing, never mind. But just to further prove how much larger of a franchise Destiny is than Halo now, which people like to deny, I don't understand why, but yeah, Destiny is a bigger franchise than Halo ever was. Destiny's built different. Yo, let's see how many people are on Dying Light. Bro, 11,000.
Bruh.
Jesus. That game's almost a decade old at this point. How many are on Dying Light 2? 10,000. What else should we check? Far Cry 3. I wonder if this even registers. A respectable 800 players. Fallout 76. Fallout 76 is a lot of people, actually. I think. I believe Fallout 76 kind of made a recovery, didn't it? Let's see. 8,300 people playing Fallout 76. 4 times Halo Infinite. Ain't nobody playing that shit. This probably has way more, but I'm just curious. Yeah, still 17,000 people playing Hog Snort's Legacy. Where was Horizon? I know I own it, yeah. Solid 80 minutes played. I really like that game, guys. Yeah, 3,000. So, what, 600 more? No, I didn't buy Forspoken. I got it for free. Square Enix sent me it. Ooh, I'm gonna shill for this game, but if you guys have never played Kingdoms of Amalur Re-Reckoning, buy this game. It's really good. Quick shill moment. One of the most underrated 360 games of all time. Trying to see if anything else jumps out. Yo, I wonder. It's got half the players. And isn't this game like unplayable in multiplayer now too? That's actually kind of weak. But yeah, I don't know, man. It ain't a good look. That's for sure. Dexus with the 249, finally a stream for the Euro Bros. That's right, man. I mean, depending on which side of the aisle you're on when it comes to the Microsoft debate, you know, the Euro Bros, I guess, got a W because I do believe PlayStation is way more popular over there. And Jeevis with the 2, bring ray tracing to Minesweeper. That'll save them for real, man. That's what we need to see from Xbox. That'll save gaming. And Weaponized Autism with a 2. Team Fortress 2, a 2007 game, has 80 to 90 players. Well, Valve games are just built different, bro. Valve games are just built different. Like, Valve does not know how to make a flop aside from that card game they made. Other than that, all of their games are just, like, fucking insanely popular. I'm sure Portal 2 probably has thousands of people playing it still. Henry with the 2. Phil Spencer needs to go. Xbox needs to, man. I'm of the same mentality, man. Something is definitely wrong over there. Very wrong. Party members with the 5, the amount of time it took Infinite to release, the same amount Halo 1, 2, and 3 took to release, and you couldn't even play, only select. Bro, For example, I was looking at graded games the other day, and there was a copy of Halo 2, and on the front cover for like the launch edition of Halo 2, it said 23 multiplayer maps or something like that. Like, bro, that was normal for Halo to have like 20 fucking maps at launch. And then you look at Halo Infinite, they had 7 maps, 3 of which were so fucking bad they removed them from ranked play. And they didn't even have a playlist feature. Like, what the fuck are we doing nowadays, guys? I don't even know. DJ Aftershock with a 2. Hey, hey, ho, ho. Phil Spencer's got to go. I think it's a very hard argument to say that he's good for the Xbox brand at this point. I mean, what has he actually done? Game Pass. That's it. The Walmart of gaming. He has turned Xbox, a premium gaming console, into the fucking bargain bin of gaming, basically. Jonathan with the 5. I'm not up to date on the Microsoft X Activision sex scene. Ooh, why are they being blocked? Also, common console fanboy L. So basically what they said is cloud gaming, basically. Microsoft would own too much of the cloud gaming market and, I guess, means of production of games in the cloud gaming industry. That was the main complaint they had. Femtango with the 5. To be honest, I switched from PC. Best decision... Or, I switched to PC. Best decision I ever made. My friends tell me to play Xbox. I say no. Well, bro, you can play Xbox. You got the Xbox app. You don't even have to pay for Xbox Live. But yeah, no, I mean, I think Microsoft has made it very clear, like, we treat our consoles like shit, just buy a PC instead. I mean, a PC and a PS5 and a Switch are all you need. I mean, even then, I think you could almost forego the PS5 because eventually most of those games are going to come to PC anyway, if you don't care about waiting. But, yeah, if you're going to buy, like, one console, I would say get a PS5 at this point. Which, I mean, has always been the case this generation, but we shall see. You bought the Portal bundle for $150? That's probably the best $150 you'll spend. The Portal games are great. I think, bro, honestly, that's my favorite game from Valve, is Portal 2. Easily. Like, I'm not really a Half-Life person or a hardcore CSGO player or anything like that, so Portal, for me, has always been my favorite game series they have, which I wish they would make more, but... Or at least put out, like, DLC for Portal. That would be cool. But I love Portal. So, Dylan with the 5, I think Phil and his groupies are on thin ice. Microsoft executives have to be pissed. I don't see Phil staying the head of Xbox. Changes are needed ASAP. Yeah, and like I was talking about earlier, like we saw a literal market reaction of positivity towards Microsoft on the announcement that their merger got fucking blocked. That usually never happens. When a company is shelling out $70 billion for an acquisition, typically that means that it's a positive economic indicator. But the fact that this deal got blocked shot Microsoft stock in an upward trajectory. So... that tells you that even Microsoft shareholders are not thrilled about this deal whatsoever either. It's almost like they want it to fail and have the money go somewhere else. Because, I mean, think about it. Gaming does not drive Microsoft's stock growth. Their cloud services do. So would you rather Microsoft spend fucking $70 billion on a loser division that barely even makes money? Or would you rather them invest $70 billion into buying like a new cloud startup or cloud competitor or something like that to ensure their profitable business unit maintains like its market leadership? That's the way I would look at it as a shareholder. Like, it's all about allocation of resources. And it goes back to the whole argument of whether or not Game Pass is profitable or not versus just straight up selling games. Because sure, both could be profitable, but which one is more profitable? And that's what you have to look at as a business, the opportunity cost of choosing one decision over the other. And I think that's going to start catching up to Xbox very quickly. Groovy with the 2. Hey babe, you doing day stream? Only for like a couple more minutes, probably. I'll probably have to get off soon. Check my calendar and see if I have anything. I already finished up the shit I had to do today for the most part. But yeah, I just figured I would come live during the lunch break I'm supposed to be taking or whatever. Goro Kurikai with the 5. Does a French government bureau really have the authority? It's not French, it's the UK. Have the authority to block an American company from buying another American company? No, they don't. But they have the ability to block Microsoft from conducting business in the UK or selling certain products. So that's the thing. Is theoretically the UK could say, well, we're blocking the sale of Xboxes. Weaponized autism with the 2. I'm worried about what's going to happen to id Software. They've been fucking quiet. It's been, what, 3 years? They could have announced something new. But they got sent to go work on fucking Redfall, so...
Bruh.
Yeah, I'm very excited for Final Fantasy 16. Dude, Final Fantasy 16 is everything I want out of a game. Like, insanely fucking awesome looking gameplay. Number one most important thing. That game looks so fucking fun to play. And then, you know, Final Fantasy typically has a great storyline. The world is usually really interesting. I love the fact that it's not a fucking forced open world game. Hallelujah. And overall, man, the graphics look really beautiful as well, too. The music's going to be top-notch, just like every other Square Enix game. So, I think Final Fantasy is everything I want out of a video game in modern years. So, personally, I'm really looking forward to that game. I bought a PlayStation just to play that shit, so fingers crossed. I mean, the fact they brought in the Devil May Cry 5 combat director to make the combat for Final Fantasy 16 is such a fucking big dub. Because that's always been my biggest complaint with, like, the recent Final Fantasy is the gameplay feels a little just janky. But, dude, that gameplay looked fucking smooth. That shit looks fucking smooth, bro. It looks incredible. I'm really looking forward to that. Yeah, I loved Final Fantasy 15. Daryl Zone, the 2, are you working and playing COD? Naughty Griffin? I said my job is being a gamer, bro. Nobody believes me, though. Everyone thinks I'm lying. I played Doom 2016's multiplayer, but Doom Eternal's multiplayer sucked. That shit was so bad, man. I hate asymmetrical multiplayer modes. Dexus with the 249. Very rare. British W. That's right, man. Very rare. And Merc with the 2. Wait, you're streaming. What's the T, sis? The title. T is for title. Party members with the 5. I'm excited for Final Fantasy 16, but I'm still waiting for the PC port. At least I'll still get it. I'm like, exactly, man. Bro, I would trade every single one of Xbox's announced titles right now that are releasing this year for Final Fantasy 16. Easily. Like, I would trade Redfall, Starfield, and Forza for Final Fantasy 16 without a shadow of a doubt. Yeah, the Final Fantasy 16 port's probably not going to come until like 2024 at minimum. Because they say the exclusivity is at least for 1 year. And with Final Fantasy 7 Integrate, they said 6 months. They said the same thing with Final Fantasy 7 Remake, but with Final Fantasy 7 Integrate, when that DLC came out, then it was 6 months after that. So my guess is once all the DLC for 16 comes out, then that's when we'll get into like the 6-month countdown to PC. That's what I would guess if I had to put money on it. Damn, bro, I don't typically play video games during the daytime, and the sun is like shining on my fucking monitor and I can barely see. Lovely. Especially on this map because it's so fucking dark. Starfield is Xbox's last hope. I just wouldn't, bro, honestly, if you like Fallout, you'll probably like Starfield. If you're not a huge Fallout fan, I wouldn't get your hopes up. I mean, that game is going to be Fallout in space. With like some, I guess, added base building and exploration elements. But if you don't like Fallout, you're probably not going to like Starfield. Would be my guess. Yeah, I'd much rather have an Elder Scrolls game as well. 100%, bro. I love the fantasy setting way more than like sci-fi or post-apocalyptic. The fantasy setting, I think, is where Bethesda does their best work. Elder Scrolls games are fucking goated. Well, the base building is a massive element of Starfield because you have to build like your base of operations, you have to build your ship. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of gameplay is linked to the base building and like ship building and everything like that. And weapon crafting and all that sort of shit. Oh shit. Fuck, man. Shit. Am I gonna play Starf? Yeah, I'll probably try it out. Did I like Mass Effect? I liked Mass Effect 3 mainly. The first two, not really too much. They were way too clunky. Like, bro, Mass Effect 1 was fucking painful to play. Mass Effect 1 is like the fucking worst like gameplay experience I've ever had in a third-person shooter. That shit is terrible. I think they overhauled it for the Legendary Collection if I'm not mistaken, but yeah, I remember I played Mass Effect 1 back on the 360 and that shit was fucking terrible. But yeah, like everybody I knew just played Mass Effect to have sex with the aliens, bro. Like, that was it. You know, fucking Alien Simulator was the main point of getting Mass Effect. Do you know how Microsoft could turn this around? I don't really know if they can at this point. I think it's too far gone. I mean, the only way they could ever hope, like, it would take time, and that's what they don't have. So anything they do would need to start right now, but it's going to take years to actually get them on track. That's the thing, is like anything Microsoft does to course correct is going to take like 5 to 10 years to actually take effect at this point. And I don't really know they have that time, just given how quickly they're losing market share right now. I mean, what you're talking about is basically like an entire management overhaul. They need to get like 3 or 4 like rock stars in there to just go in and like fucking completely reshape that division. And I just don't see that happening because Microsoft is a very incestuous, bureaucratic, you know, big company. And it's very hard to change things at big companies, unfortunately. Which is why a lot of big companies fail at very basic things. Because they're just so large and cumbersome and like ingrained, they can't fucking adapt quickly like small companies can. Like, I always talk about this, but I know, like, this lady, she worked at Microsoft, and she left because she got sick of, like, how bureaucratic and annoying the management is to deal with. She just got fed up and left. So, it's not an uncommon thing at a big company like that. Game Pass should be on Steam. Microsoft doesn't want to pay 30% of the revenue to Valve, so unlikely. I think they're gonna have to drop the price of the Xbox Series X right now, because, like, it's not selling. Like, bro, if you're getting outsold 3-1 by the PlayStation in America in your Xbox, that's like the biggest red flag you could ever have thrown your direction for your console is not doing well. Because America is the only market Xbox typically, you know, competes with Sony on, sales-wise. And they're getting bodied 3-1. And then on top of that, their hardware sales have dropped 30% year over year when more stock is available now versus last year. So there's just no compelling reason to go and buy a Series X. Like, it's just unfortunate, man. It really is. Like, you can't even push the power narrative anymore because PlayStation has had games that are outperforming the Xbox version. Like, doesn't Modern Warfare 2, for example, run better on PlayStation than Xbox? And I mean, the crazy thing is that 3-1 number is only the US. Worldwide, it's like, what? In March, the PlayStation sold 2 million consoles and the Xbox Series consoles sold 500,000. So if you zoom out to like the worldwide global marketplace, you know, for every one Xbox, there's 4 PlayStations being sold. Like, that shit's wild, man. That's terrible. That's worse than the Xbox One generation. I mean, unless they keep injecting money into these large studio acquisitions, Xbox is not going to be able to maintain relevance. And that's just a fact, bro. I think they were banking on Activision Blizzard in order to, like, secure them a permanent spot in the gaming market. Because the gaming industry, basically, you know, Call of Duty is too big to fail. I don't think Xbox is too big to fail. I think Xbox would have failed a very long time ago if it was a standalone business unit. Like, without Microsoft subsidizing them for the past 20 years, Xbox would already be fucking gone at this point. They would have gone the way of Sega. Like, if Xbox was a solely gaming company, it would already be gone. There's no way it'd be around. The CMA has no authority over 2 American-owned companies. They can't do shit. They can block the sale of Microsoft products in the UK, so they can definitely do something. The UK is Microsoft's second biggest console market, so I highly doubt they're going to want to lose that. Oski Woski with a 10. Roses are red, violets are blue. So, how in the bloody hell does Makarov know you?
Bruh.
Jesus Christ, man. I'll never forget what OG Gaz said to me. Switching to your secondary is better than reloading your primary. Rest easy, old man. Yeah, back when Modern Warfare campaigns were actually fucking fun. And not this trash we got last time. It's sad, man. They butchered the fucking MW2 campaign. They butchered the MW2 campaign this time around. It's honestly depressing. Dude, the US is fucking... Bro, the US government is suing Activision and Microsoft to block this deal from going through. So if anything, the UK blocking this deal is being an ally to the United States. You gotta remember, bro, we got fucking Brandon in office right now. You know, the Democrats' whole fucking thing is big company bad, so his fucking FTC chair is the one who's suing Microsoft to block the deal. So if anything, the UK is being a good ally by blocking this deal from going through. because the fucking Biden administration doesn't want it to go through. So if you got any beef, bruh, you better get on the boat of.
Let's go, Brandon. I agree.
Oh shit.
What time is it?
Yeah, probably after this match I'm gonna have to get off. Ew, what the fuck did I just pick up? Dude, I can barely fucking see. The sun is like shining directly on my fucking screen right now.
Yep, I'll be streaming tonight. Don't worry, Brit Chan.
Shills in Congress. Well, if anything, the shills were for Microsoft in Congress. Griffin coping with this news? Bro, I'm not coping at all. If anything, Call of Duty's been saved, at least for a little while longer, before Microsoft fucking halos my Call of Duty. That's what I'm afraid of, man, is they're gonna make my fucking Call of Duty into fucking, whatever it's called. Halo Infinite. With 3 fucking maps at launch and no fucking playlists. Alright guys, I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I will see you all later tonight. But have a good one, everybody.
Whoa! Welcome to the real world!